We New Englanders love our decks, and a good deck or a bad deck can make or break an outdoor space. As homeowners, we look for decks that are long-lasting, durable, and easy to maintain, and quick installation so we can enjoy them right away. On today's episode, we're going to look at some new innovations in deck technology that allow us to make and install better decks. Let's check it out. Arnold Lumber has been a partner of New England builders and homeowners for over 100 years. Our goal is to elevate projects to their highest potential through top quality product solutions and above and beyond service on all projects from start to finish. Now, we're teaming up with industry leaders and the area's best builders to give you insights on the latest material technologies, best practices, and unique projects. This is Breaking Ground. Hey folks, Tom here with Arnold Lumber with another episode of Breaking Ground. Today we're in Jamestown, Rhode Island with Decks by Jalex, a Rhode Island company that specializes in building beautiful decks. We're going to learn about their approach to deck building and look at some cool new technologies in deck building today, like the ICON Joist by FastenMaster, a cool new technology around joist construction that's much lighter weight and more durable. Let's go up on the job site and take a closer look. So we're on site here in Jamestown with Decks by Jalex. I got that right? This is Alex with Decks by Jalex. Alex, what is this project here today? A redo of an existing deck? Or?
It is a redo of an existing deck. So the deck was almost the same size. It was a little bit smaller. They wanted to decrease the length of it by 2 feet, but the size overall is the same, and replacing it with something that's very similar to what they had before, but they just wanted to do another like TimberTech composite decking and change the railings because the other one was, about 30 years old and falling down, but it's very similar to the deck they already had. What
was up there? Just a regular pressure treated?
No, actually it was like the original Trex that they don't even make anymore. Gotcha. There's a few pieces of it laying around, but it was a composite deck.
Composite meaning we're not having to use wood, we're using a synthetic material. It should last hopefully forever.
Yeah, so this new one has a 25-year warranty for stain and color fading and everything by TimberTech. Yeah. So it'll last, it'll last much longer than that. You can power wash it maybe once a year, but you don't have to stain it or paint it or do all of the maintenance.
Yeah. You mentioned your customers, this is their summer home, I suppose.
Yes, a lot of ours have summer homes.
So tell us a little bit about Decks by Jalex. What, obviously you do decks, but new construction, replacement, what's your whole approach to decks?
We always like to say that we don't just do decks, we do it all. Mm-hmm. So we do everything, but a large part of it is doing decks. We like to do custom decks for the customer. So whatever they want to do, we want to find a way to make it work for their lifestyle, but also make it, visually appealing, make it a little bit better, something that's, going to last time and also look good.
Not just a simple rectangle, but if they want to get creative, you guys think outside the box to try to get them where they want to be.
Exactly. We do have plenty of decks that are just, a simple rectangle, replacing what was there and just making it better, longer lasting, more visually appealing, safer, structurally sound. So we always worry about that. But on something like this, they're doing key-link cable railing, which is very pretty, also great for sight lines because we're here in Jamestown. And then underneath, a lot of people, for storage, a lot of people do lattice. Here they're gonna do AZEK trim vertically, which is something new, very modern. So it's something that we don't get to do all the time. It's something that they're excited about, so we're excited about doing it.
When I see what's happening here, I see these some sort of metal footing down the bottom, not that typical concrete footing. What's going on here with that?
We use screw piles, they're helical screw piles, okay. And our excavator is not here right now, but we install them ourselves with the excavator. All right. And then you just have to make sure they hit a certain like PSI torque. So it's usually like 5,860 to 6,000 for the torque to make sure that it goes deep enough.
So it screws in just like you're screwing in a screw?
Yes, but with the excavator.
Obviously,
the
a much bigger scale, but screws into the ground, and then I can level them out by the size of the post.
Yep, you can just add an extension to them, and then we record the depth of every one of them. It tells you, because obviously we ordered the screw piles by height. So then we have a system where we write down the height of every screw pile, and then instead of getting a traditional footing inspection like with cement that you would have to wait for the inspection to come out and the cement to cure, here once you install the screw piles we can immediately start working, and then I just have to upload all of the specs with all of the torques and the distances, and that goes straight to the building inspector.
That's awesome. So you're not waiting for concrete to cure, you're not waiting for inspectors to come out. Saving a lot of time.
Yeah, you save a lot of time, and the fact that we install them ourselves also saves us a lot of time. There are companies that's like strictly what they do, and you give them their plans and they'll come out and install it for you, but we bought the Digga system, so we install them ourselves, and we install these and then immediately start working on the same day.
You mentioned plans. It might be cool to go get a look at the design of what this deck is going to be, and then maybe watch these guys put some of this stuff up. All right, Alex, so tell me what we're looking at here. These are the plans for the deck. Here's the layout.
Yeah, so these are the engineered plans that come from ICON. So when we figure out the deck layout, which luckily this one was already here, so we just had to verify all the measurements. And then we do like a rough drawing, and then we send it off to ICON, and then they show us all of the joists that need to go in, where they need to go in, how many footings we need in each space, where we need to double up for our pyramid or our breaker boards in the middle, or this little section over here that it backs up, so it shows us where we need extra footings to attach to the screw piles and then attach to the extra triple beam. So this comes from ICON itself, and we double check it, make sure everything's right, make sure we have everything we need, and then they send it to their engineers, make sure it's all set, and then we upload it straight to luckily it's a building permit portal in Jamestown, and they approve all of the plans, and then when the joists get delivered themselves, this comes with them, so we have the plans on site.
All right, well, we're gonna get a closer look at the deck then and see how it's going up, and learn a little bit more about these ICON joists you're talking about.
Of course.
All right, so we're here with Ernie Gasparino of FastenMaster. Thanks for joining us on the project today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
I was hoping, Ernie, you might be able to tell us a little bit about FastenMaster, the products that we're using on this job, and the whole approach to how you help customers get the job done.
Sure. So FastenMaster is a manufacturer of structural screws, hidden fasteners, and now engineered components for exterior construction. So we've been around since the late 90s. We actually just finished our 25-year anniversary last year, which is pretty impressive.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a momentous occasion for sure. Interestingly enough, we brought out ICON, our first engineered component for the deck world, on our 25-year anniversary.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really cool.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about ICON, since that's one of the focal points of this project here today.
Sure. ICON is an engineered deck joist that's designed to replace 2x10 lumber. FastenMaster as a whole, you'll see under our logo, it says pro driven. The big thing about that is we always go to the pro contractor first to understand what they need in the market, what can make the job faster, make it stronger, and make their their time installing products easier. ICON really came about because of the need for consistent building materials, specifically consistent joists.
And they didn't have that already?
Well, they had 2x10s, which for decades have got the job done. But with new growth lumber and treating methods and the excess moisture in lumber, builders are seeing a 2x10 ranging, a pressure treated 2x10, ranging anywhere from 9 1/4 to 9 3/4. And most builders accept that, but they have to do a lot of labor up front to basically create a perfectly flat deck, whether it's taking a bunch of time up front and sorting their lumber, measuring it, turning it on its side and crowning it. And then even when they get like a joist, a 2x10 set on the beam and on the ledger with a joist hanger and a hurricane tie, they're still sometimes having to go back and take a planer and plane over across the top.
So they're compensating for all these imperfections in the lumber. Instead, now the ICON joist shows up and they can just go to town because everything's been set up and done for them.
Exactly. So ICON, it's engineered to be 10 1/2 inches top to bottom. Manufacture it with kiln dried after treatment lumber, KDAT, which means that not only is there less moisture content because it's dried after being pressure treated, on top of that, it's significantly lighter, about 50% lighter than a 2x10. And the great part about that is that it's easier for the builder to handle. Their bodies feel better at the end of the day. But also, this is dense select structural lumber that we're using. So you can see the growth rings in here are tighter. So it's a more consistent lumber in terms of dimensionally consistent.
Got it.
Meaning that it's going to stay at its dimension, 10.5 inches, for the life of the project. The webbing here is actually these are structural screws that are custom designed with double threads, and basically you have one in tension and one in traction here, so it's equally distributing the load all the way across from the beam to the ledger.
You've got something that's lighter with long spans, and yet it's still as structurally sound and strong to hold everything up. What's the mechanics of that? We don't have to get into the scientific engineering of it, but what's going on that makes this as good or better than just using regular lumber?
So basically it's designed like an exterior floor truss. So like I said, you're equally distributing the load all the way back. We've been designing ICON since 2013. In the early phases of designing the actual concept, we took joists and we sent them all the way out to Minnesota to get third-party tested. And the testing came back that our design is as strong as a 2x10, and in some instances stronger, up to 20 pounds per square foot stronger. And really it's all based in the design, the angle that these fasteners are at, these web fasteners, the spacing, everything like that. And even, like I said, this dense select structural lumber that we're using, plays a major part. In the end, what the builder gets is a perfectly flat deck, which they're all looking for.
Yeah, really.
Extremely fast installation. Usually saving probably about a day's worth of labor per project for an average 3-person crew. And in the end, the homeowner gets a 25-year warranty on the deck substructure.
I was going to ask, how long should this last? So there's a 25-year warranty on it, even though we're expecting it'll probably last much longer than that.
Exactly, yeah. We absolutely know the fasteners are going to last for the life of the project. Wood is wood. It's going to do what it's going to do, but we pick the best possible pressure-treated lumber that we can find to extend the life of this structure as long as possible.
What else does FastenMaster have on this project right here that you guys provide? I see, obviously, fasteners.
So, the MVP Fasteners, which is actually our new structural framing screw. So this is actually used to connect the ICON joist to the beam and connect it to the ledger, as well as at some point you'll see some blocking going in.
So why this fastener versus just screwing it in with
So this is a number 10 structural fastener. So this is above and beyond your standard deck screw, which is usually a number 8 in terms of diameter. It's stronger, it's structurally rated, so we have testing behind it. And on top of that, we've got engineered threads that have, a fast start point, this knurl here that's actually a bigger thread to really just hold things tighter. And in the end, this is, our most highly engineered screw that's not a full-on structural lag screw.
You don't think about the science of a screw very often, but I can see that there's an interesting pattern to this screw. What do they do as this screw goes into the wood?
So really something, like on this fastener here, if you look at it, the fast start tip basically is it's a fine thread to get the fastener started that much faster. Then you have the primary thread, which this provides all of the strength in terms of withdrawal from the wood. And then this knurl here, this basically provides some resistance to splitting because it opens up part of the lumber. And then even on the top of the head here, the underside of the head, the shoulder we call it, these teeth here will actually help seat the fastener without splitting the face of the lumber.
I hate when the wood splits. You go so nice and easy, you get right to the very bottom and then split goes the wood. So this is going to help prevent that.
Exactly. And even with overdriving the fastener a little bit, which we know builders like to sink that head a little bit below the surface, those teeth will open up that hole so this head seats.
So it's like a countersink built into your screw.
And then actually, we've got the bit here, which is actually something really unique to what FastenMaster does to our fasteners. On the tip of the bit is this round, we call it the stability button. So this locks into a depression in the head of the screw. So you can see it locks in there really tightly. So this keeps the fastener nice and stable. So when the builder's driving above their head, way down below.
I'm not having to use two hands, one to hold the screw and the other to hold the tool.
So it feels magnetic, but it's not.
That's great.
So we do this
Cool.
on our ledger lock screws, which are on the ledger here, our flat-headed ledger lock. And even when the decking's getting installed, Ray here is going to be using Cortex, and we use the T-tap bit system on our Cortex screws as well.
Wow. Well, you guys are all over this project. We're going to go ahead and get a look at these guys putting this stuff together and see if everything you say is true.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, so now Ray's going to tell us a little bit about why Decks by Jalex made the switch from typical 2x lumber to these ICON Joists technology.
There's a lot of time saving when we use this joist versus our old joist.
Right.
So for starters, I'll show you something that I think means a lot to people. Why don't you just pick that up for me? Good. How light is that?
That's pretty
Compared
light.
to a 2x10.
How long is this?
That's 16 feet long.
So this is a
You can hold that with one hand.
Yeah, well, let's see if I can. Yeah, you're right.
You can't do that with a 16-foot 2x10.
So I could carry two of these from
two
one
of these
spot
from
to
one
the
side
other.
of the job
Yeah,
to the other.
yeah.
So let's put it up here so I can show you a few more things about it.
All right.
Okay, so in a typical environment with your deck, we would have a ledger board, we would sit our joists in it, and then we'd put a bunch of joist hangers, screws and nails after we get everything set. With this, you rip a 2x8 down first, mount it to the house, and then literally, that's it. We put this up first, you slide your joist on, 2 screws top, 2 screws bottom, walk away, you're done. You don't
No
ever
more
come back
hanging
to
joist,
no
no
more
more
hanging,
nails
no
on
more,
each side.
nobody coming back with a nail gun, a screw gun, or anything. The other thing that's nice about it is when you have to block, we used to have to cut blocks to go in the middle, in between each joist, 14 and a quarter.
You mean for going through when you're in the center joist?
In a typical joist, you'd be like this, and you'd have a joist here, and then you'd put a block in between the two.
Got it, yep.
So if you're putting a block in between the two, you're cutting all these individual blocks. So on a deck that's 36 foot long like this one, you're cutting 36 foot block, you're offsetting the screws and everything. We're gonna take 20 foot 2x8s ripped down, and we're gonna go like this. And we're gonna slide that all the way through.
Right.
We'll overlap one on the other side.
Yeah.
2 screws up, 2 screws down,
And done.
and all our blocking is done.
You're not cutting anything.
We're not cutting anything.
Wow, what a time saver that is.
That saves my time on the install with the guys. That also saves everything that they want to get done. We can move along at a much better, faster rate than we could before.
So there's a trade-off here, because when you look at a sophisticated engineered product like the ICON joist, it probably costs a little bit more than a couple pieces of standard lumber. But then on the back side of that, all the labor that you're saving and the time it would have taken you to cut all those blocks, set up all your joist hangers, put everything up, you're trading that off anyways, and now you have a better, easier to manage product.
Right, and most of our decks, 95% of our decks are high-end PVC decking.
Right, right.
So when we're using high-end decking, you want it flat, you want it straight.
Yeah.
When you get this lumber, you got guys crowning it, bowing it, checking it, sending it back because it's warped. These come through with kiln dried after treatment. This is just regular pressure treated. This is kiln dried.
Gotcha.
After it's been treated with pressure treated. Stays flatter, stays straighter, done.
So when you lay your decking, boom, you're flat all the way across.
I mean, nothing's ever going to be, perfect, but it's a lot better than the way that system's going to work.
Gotcha.
So we made all these trade-offs. I wouldn't say trade-offs, but I mean, you're making trade-offs here and there. You're giving somebody a better product. Let's face it, we all have guys, no one's getting younger. And when one guy can go like this,
yeah, really,
instead of trying to lift a 2x10, then, that's where the big savings come in. Is guys aren't hurting themselves. I don't have to worry about workers' comp or any of those things. So it's going along faster, it's going along straighter. It's a little bit more money, but with this, what do you think the warranty is with that frame?
No clue. 10 year? 5 year?
There's no warranty when you buy a 2x8.
0 year.
Zero warranty.
Gotcha.
It's warped, it's bowed, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I tell my clients, you're paying a little bit more, I'll give you 25 years.
Wow.
So your decking is PVC decking, we use TimberTech.
Yeah.
It is a 50-year warranty.
Yeah.
Their railings are a 35-year warranty.
Wow.
And now you're putting that on a system that has 0 warranty. I'm putting it on a system that has 25-year warranty. That's why I call this the game changer.
From the lightweight to the ease of installation, it seems like a no-brainer. I'll bet more and more folks are going to be making that switch like you guys did.
You don't see too many products come along that change things quick in the decking industry. You got the high-end decking and you got the railing systems. Framing systems, I've looked at steel systems. I've looked at aluminum systems. The guys have got to learn a different technique.
Yeah.
You're using steel screws, you're using different screws, you're cutting with different materials. This, we stay with the same materials we're used to, the same screws and impact drivers that we're used to, but it speeds our game up and it gives our customers a much better product in the end, and that's what the whole thing is about.
And when your crew goes home at night, they're not all aches and pains and sore.
Well, they might not be, I am, but they aren't.
Ray, thanks for taking time to explain this to us.
No problem.
We're going to take a look at the guys putting this stuff up and see how it goes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a bunch. Well, that about does it for this episode. Special thanks to Decks by Jalex for having us out here today, and shout out to FastenMaster for teaching us a little bit more about the innovative products in deck building today and the special tools that make their jobs easier. If you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and join us next time on this project where we show you the hand railing going in and finishing everything up on this beautiful new deck. I'm Tom with Arnold Lumber. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Breaking Ground.